Oh, hello. It's time for that early Christmas present. It's the third episode of the Tabletop Impulse Discord Community Showcase, an irregular series where I go through all the pictures and models that have been posted in the Discord in a particular channel called Community Showcase. So all these people have consented to receive comments from me on a video. And we have a look at what my wonderful community have been up to, because I show my own hobby off on the channel often enough. So let's start off with Major Tom's Old School Dreadnought. Very on brand for Major Tom to want to show off something that's really, really old. Now, this is, a hard model to paint. You've got to remember that this is from back in the day where surfaces were just flat and detailless. I think he's done quite a good job of trying to get a sort of texture to it and not just have it come out as looking one big flat colour, because obviously this isn't going to take washes well. There isn't that much detail on there. So he's done a really good job of trying to get a sort of... it almost looks like it's plastic, right? It's painted metal, but it almost looks like it's got a sort of a 70s sci-fi vibe, right? And the base is helping that as well. Reminds me a little bit of the start of A New Hope, the blockade runner with the white floor. So yeah, again, a big sort of 70s science fiction vibe from this. Looks really cool model, painted up really well. Love the modern Dark Angel's transfer on the shoulder pad there. Really adds something as well. Really nice. This is Major Tom's Delac Gang, and he's done the classic, well, not the classic, I suppose, but the studio colour scheme, which they did when the Delac first released in new plastic, sort of the black leather, but with the brown highlights on the black leather. It looks really good, and Major Tom's executed it fantastically here. They look great. I mean, I remember when Delacs had brown trench coats, but they've had black trench coats in the minds of most people for a very long time. Yeah, they look really good. Really, 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 really well executed. Really excellent. Really, really, technically awesome. More stuff from Major Tom, because he's a very prolific contributor to the Community Showcase channel. Major Tom Space Marines, he was making some kind of point about Space Marines having been around for a long time. I'm not entirely sure I remember who the guy on the right-hand side is. He's called a Space Marine. Is he a Games Workshop manager? I don't know. But I will say that's a really good Dark Angels Phobos Marine that you've got there. And I love the checks on the knee pad, Major Tom. And the stark highlighting isn't for everybody, but it is a stylistic choice. And I quite like it, right? I think it's cool. Matthew Poole's Exaction Squad. I love these, Matt. These are probably my favourite thing. I'm not saying they're the best thing, but they're probably my favourite thing from the whole roundup. Your painting has really, 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 really come on, like, over the time you've been a member of the Tabletop Impulse community, and it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you, as you submit things more and more, to see the level of talent really, really increase, with each project that you take on. I love that these are, and I will say that his Bad App Hobby Challenge stuff is even better, right? These are Arbites painted in the classic Judge Dredd colour scheme. A lot of people say, I'm going to paint my Arbites like Judge Dredd, and they're kind of thinking of the film Judge Dredd, either the Carl Urban Judge Dredd, which is kind of black and red, or the Stallone Judge Dredd, which is more the kind of blue and red. But Matt's gone for the actual, like, the comic book Judge Dredd with the green shoes and the green hands, which I think is really, really cool. And I also want to point out that riot shield, the left-hand riot shield, the one with all the freehand, like the stripe, and just the weathering on the bottom of that painted panel is really, really, really amazing. Like, I can't stop looking at it. It's really well done. I love it. I love it a lot. And the bases, with the weird colours on the bases that he's tried to paint to match in with the board for Into the Dark as well. This is a really lovely kill team in almost every way. I'm in love with it. It's amazing. Really, we've got another helping of awesome from Matthew Poole. So these are his stealth suit kill team. I was surprised to see stealth suits making a reappearance. These were one of those teams that right at the start of Kill Team, when Kill Team first launched, people were like, oh, a stealth suit's going to be a thing, like in the compendium. Can they do stuff? Is that an interesting team? Real blast from the past. I love these models, and weathering on the white is a really hard thing to do without losing white and making them look grey. And I think, by and large, you've really, really pulled that off. I really like the amount of weathering he's got on these. They look really good. You can still tell they're meant to be white, but you can also tell that they really have been in. They've seen some combat. Really hit the mark there, Matthew. Well done, well done. One more entry from Mr. Matthew Poole, so we get some frequent flyers in the Community Showcase channel. I guess some people just love praise and are willing to risk getting some critique. This guy, the painting is not as blowing me away as hard as some of the other stuff you entered, but it's all about that Pokeball, like little modelling thing, little nod there. Is this guy supposed to be in the service of Trays in the Infinite, who people often refer to derisively as having a Pokeball? I'm not sure, but he looks really cool. Really cool. I love the little conversion. That's neat. Major Tom's back with some Orc Commandos. So these are his Black Orc Commandos. So he's, if you know your old Warhammer Fantasy Battles lore, Black Orcs used to be a unit in Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and I think they're not supposed to have black skin in the Warhammer Fantasy version. They're like just very, very, very dark green. They're like darker green than the other orcs. But Major Tom's gone for like charcoal black orc skin. One of the really cool things about this, though, is it lets you use like olive drabs for the Orc Commandos have this army surplus style clothing, but then you can't quite paint it green because the orcs have green skin, and it's really hard to get that to look good. So it does give you a nice contrast for the clothing, so you can do the clothing in olive drab, which I think looks really nice. And I love the free-handed white paint on the faces as well. That's a really solid touch, and it looks amazing. Major Tom, well done. You should be very proud of these. An entry from Whopper, who stole the show last time around. This is his entry for a Kill Team tournament painting competition, I believe. I've forgotten exactly which one. And he 3D printed this board himself and cut out all the little slots for all the little guys. And as someone that's recently done a display board, we're taking that to Nottingham, not this weekend, but the weekend after, and then taking it to Warhammer World in January. Making the display board is quite a feat. And, the things you could do with a 3D printer. I don't have a 3D printer, but I'm in awe of the technical nature of the board and the little cutouts and all the barricades. That's amazing. The fact that he's used almost an entire box of Krieg there, just as scenery, is brilliant. And then, of course, Whopper's painting is amazing. Whopper's an artist. We've featured his stuff before. What more can I say? But it's a great little entry, a great little vignette there from Whopper. Fantastic stuff. Single figures from Sully. So this comes from a discussion we had on a live stream, I think months and months ago now, because it go quite a long time between these community showcases. It's a story in 3 parts. He pointed out to me that the book that the Dark Apostle is holding is the same book that the limited edition Inquisitor Erasmus, I think he's called, Inquisitor something, is stabbing. So you've got the Dark Apostle there with his book, the Inquisitor stabbing the book, and at the bottom there we have one of my famous slip of the tongues, a Bark Apostle. It's just a member in joke, I guess. It is dog. It is also a Dark Apostle. He worships chaos while being a dog. That's how the Bark Apostle works, now you know. And he is a bad boy. He's the baddest of boys, in fact. Yeah. Back to the Major Tom show. Major Tom's Novitiates. These look really good. Major Tom, I love that you've bothered to do, interior cloak lining and an exterior cloak colour. It always looks really good. It's not actually that hard to do, but a lot of people avoid it like the plague, and it looks really, really good here. And I love the red and the white. Great colours. Classic colour scheme. And I love the freehand on the scroll at the front there. You've got the lady with the 2 scrolls. Really great use of freehand and stuff on those as well. Really, really good. Really an enjoyable team to look at. And we've got even more from Major Tom. So Major Tom has entered his Shatterpoint army. So we've got the Ventress team from the starter box, as well as the General Grievous set, his box. I would say, Tom, where's Count Dooku? All these separatists going off. You need to get yourself a Count Dooku set. Build and paint Count Dooku. Come on, he's the best character in the Clone Wars. But I will say, General Grievous is a beast of a miniature. As far as miniatures go, Grievous is like the nicest Shatterpoint miniature. Look at him. He looks amazing. Obviously, Major Tom and I have similar tastes. If I eventually get around to playing Shatterpoint, it will be these guys, the separatists, that I will want to play. Not that there is such a thing as factions in Shatterpoint, you can mix and match whatever, but in my mind, I am constraining myself to a faction that I've basically invented, at least at first, right? But great models, well painted. Love that you've done the freehand on the B1s there for the shoulder pads and the little chest thing. I'm sure the colours and patterns have meanings to someone somewhere. I'm not that into it that I could tell you, but they look cool. And then Mage Tom's Elven Archers. So Mage Tom has told me many, many times what these Elven Archers are called. They're called like Latte Archers or Lathray Archers or something. I don't know. I've forgotten. But they look cool. And I love the Woad style freehand. If I can be permitted just to use my laser pointer for a minute. This elf here has some nice woad on his face there. Looks really, really cool. And I love the basing. It's really hard to get those kind of round bases in movement trays to look good. Loads of base material. Looks really good, really sunk in there. Really, really enjoy it. This is a second entry from Major Tom that we've seen where he's put war paint on a face, and after I spend so much time painting a face to then cover it in war paint, I would have to be very, very bold. It's nice to see Major Tom is unafraid to put paint over a face that he's already painted. They look really good, Tom, and you should be proud of them as well. And now we're on to Bernhardt's stuff. So we're going to start with Bernhardt's Shatterpoint Baddies. Honestly, these are inspirational. Bernhardt's a fantastic painter. You could do an entire presentation just looking at and critiquing Bernhardt's stuff. It's a weird thing to call out. I love Diamol, all of him, but I love his boots. Just in that photograph, Diamol's boots, they look really good. Really, really good. Sorry, excuse me. And we're going to move on to look at the Bernhardt's goodies, because these are even more impressive. Like, let me tell you, as someone that's looked at close-ups of those Clan Creed's Mandalorians, they look really good. Like, the metallics, the smoke, everything about them looks really good. And, of course, the clone troopers and the delicate freehand on all the different clone troopers as well. Really good stuff here from Bernhardt. Really well done. And again, I keep saying it, but you should be proud of these. I need to get on with painting some of my Shatterpoint at some point. Obviously, with my newfound addiction to other things, World of Warcraft. I was going to not say World of Warcraft, and then I realised that just saying my newfound addiction to other things and leaving it hanging would be worse. So, yes, I have less hobby time just at the minute, but we'll get back to the grindstone and bash out some hobbies some point soon. This is all very inspiring stuff for me. Can you hear that? That's an ice cream van. It's the 7th of December at 6:30. It's pitch black outside. Anyway, Bernhardt's Arbeits. These are a very, very classically box art colour scheme style I like to do, so I'm all here for that. I love the really crisp edge highlighting. I'm a sucker for well highlighted and well painted black armour. I love these miniatures. I in fact voted for the Arbeits as my model of the year for Games Workshop. Won't win because they're not a big monster or vehicle, but I think they're a really, really good kit. They really add some lore and texture to the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and they're a plastic kit that I think the whole setting is richer for having plastic multi-part Arbeits in it. Yeah, and I really like the way Bernhardt's presented them. Really, really good. And the white on the helmets as well. That white stripe down the centre of the helmet all looks amazing. Then we got Bernhardt's Hand of the Archon. Now, you got a glimpse of my desktop wallpaper there. Bernhardt's Hand of the Archon. Purple with green highlights looks really, really good. Not something I would think to do, but I think it's come out really, really well. And that really is my biggest takeaway from this piece. Don't be afraid to use a weird or strange colour scheme, because this looks amazing. I would never think to paint something a colour and then highlight it a completely different colour. Not something that deeply occurs to me, but I guess it is a look for a lot of the Dark Eldar paint schemes, even the official ones, so I really do like it. It looks really good. Right, that was a quarter of an hour of me reviewing the paint jobs and things that people have posted into the Discord. Obviously, I could lavish time and attention on many of those for almost a whole video, but there were so many that I wanted to fit in, so many great pieces of work. If you'd like to be featured next time, all you need to do is join the Discord. The link's in the description of this video, and post your stuff in #CommunityShowcase. I didn't update this slide from last time I did the Community Showcase, so I've no idea what I've written, how's the audio or thumbnails have reverted. Sorry, that's my bad. Instead, you should reward me being lazy by subscribing, leaving a comment, pressing the thumbs up, doing all that sort of stuff, and I will see you again at the weekend, and I will make a video, hopefully not about the fact that Salvation still hasn't released. Good. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a great one. Good night. Bye-bye.